Hey, it's Adam from Collection DX, and today I'm reviewing Ares Moo from the St. Cloth Myth line. I'm going to be doing a 2-for-1 here. I have the actual Ares Moo gold saint that wears the Ares cloth, and that's the full figure and the appendix. Mainly because they could really kind of go hand in hand. Turns out that the final result of this early release gold saint did not meet the current high standards of... This may not show. I'll show it to you when I break it out, but there's some quality control issues. The head sculpts are ugly, and fans in general weren't happy. The breastplate was very, very clunky, and you weren't able to do much in the way of posing the figure. And for those who have seen the series, you know this is a very important pose, a very important moment from the series. And with the armor they gave you weren't going to be able to do that, so they gave you an improved head sculpt, an alternate head, extra chest plates to replace the one that came with it. So I'm going to be showing you it all kind of mixed together, and I'll show you what's the original and what's new pieces. But we're going to kill two birds with one stone instead of just giving this a review by itself, since they seem to go so hand in hand. So let's break these bad boys out and get into it. Alright, I just wanted to give you a better look at what's actually in the package before I start taking it apart. So as you can see, everything's always neatly laid out. The base for the statue mode. Tools, I wanted to make sure to point these out in case I don't get to them for the main review. Ares Moo is the only living being left that can repair cloths and bring them back from a dead state, so to speak. And these are his tools for doing such. It's actually I was introduced to the series early on. Oh, excuse me, can't get the camera. Is by Dragon Shiro seeking him out to repair his and Seiya's cloth. So, as you can see, neatly laid out. And here's why they wanted to do an appendix with a whole new head sculpt. His eyes are on... Oh, it's an ugly face, and the dots are not centered. So there you go. So that's that. I'll also give you a cape. And Ares Moo does wear his in the aforementioned manual. That is, of course, in Japanese. But it's clearly illustrated, so even if you obviously don't read the language, you still know what goes where. And here we got Ares with all of the appropriate appendix pieces swapped out to give him the Athena exclamation special move. Why is this particular special move so important, you may be asking yourself if you've never tried the series. Well, it's a particular high point for the character as far as kind of standing up to the bad guys and doing what needs to be done. It's a pretty dramatic moment in the series, and same goes for the rosary bead he currently has in his hand. That plays heavily into events during the Hades OVA. So, like I started to mention earlier, there were some flaws with the original release because it was earlier released, and I've got a couple parts I'm going to show you here. Basically what I've done is I've swapped out most of everything from the waist up. These are all new pieces. It's all plastic, but the chest piece, the shoulder pieces, the forearm pieces are all more slender. They're slimmer. Just to kind of give you an idea. Well, you're not going to be able to see it while his back is turned, but while his back is turned, so that's his hair in attack mode. This is sort of the neutral hair. This is the new head sculpt they give you. This is the original head sculpt they gave. And if you look real carefully, you can see the Lemurian marks in his forehead are not center. But you can indeed swap this head for this head. So if you wanted to display him with his helmet, you can use the hair that works with the helmet design. Like I was going to show you here is and again, nice piece, die-cast metal. This is from the original release, but they give you longer, more slender ones for his move here. It's a nice touch, it really is, and I'm very impressed. So as you can see, basically I'm using almost all the pieces, basically all the pieces from the appendix. Same thing they gave you. Here's the original shoulders. Very hard to tell, you know, here in the video, but there are subtle differences that allow you to get those arms in really close and get that nice pose, so definitely making it worth your while to get the appendix if you're a fan of the series. So, on with the review. And just wanted to show you real quick, this is the appendix larger chest. They give you a larger and a smaller, so if you want to, this is for the Athena exclamation. It's slightly narrower, it's kind of hard to tell in the video. So if you do like the leaner look, they do give you a chest plate that swaps out, so it's a little wider, so it looks a little more anime accurate. Okay, here we go with, this is all the original armor parts. As you can see, he's a bit thicker, chunkier, kind of ugly. So the appendix definitely improved on the original release. And of course they include the cape, and here's the hair to use with the helmet. Though honestly, Ares appears 90% of the, I think all of the time actually, with his hair out, not wearing his helmet. So definitely, like I keep saying, if you're going to pick up Ares, you're definitely going to want the appendix to go with it. This is the Ares cloth in its statue mode. It turns into the Ares Ram. Though honestly, I literally think you've only seen it in this stage once for a few seconds. The character is pretty much always seen wearing the cloth. So there you go, I've kind of shown you all the different takes and angles with the different forms of armor, and this is really how he's going to end up displayed on my shelf. This is what I'm going to end up going with in the end. Him doing Athena exclamation, holding the rosary beads. One thing I did leave out that I forgot to mention, like I had mentioned sort of in the intro, he is the last living person, being one of two descendants from Lemuria, who can repair cloths, and repairing the cloths of our main heroes becomes actually a major plot point that gives them the advantage in the very end of the series. There's something that happens, and it all hinges around two of our main characters having broken their cloths within the first 5 episodes of the series, and one of the characters seeks out Ares, the Gold Saint, Ares Mu, and the Gold Saint of Ares, to repair them, and they indeed give you some of his alternate hands. They give you tools. And these are die-cast metal. They give you a hammer, and they give you sort of a chisel. And again, like I said, both die-cast metal. Nice touch. Again, doesn't mean much if you're not a fan of the series, but I like the design. You almost never, I think maybe once, you'll actually see the cloth in its statue mode. Other than that, Ares is always in his armor. So it's a nice one, especially if you pick up the appendix. I'm pretty much insisting that if you're going to end up buying Ares Mu, you're going to want to get your appendix. You can get both, like I did, at Angles.com. As always, we thank them. They sponsor the St. Cloth Myth reviews, and I tell you, I wouldn't have tried this line if it wasn't for those folks, and I'm really getting a kick out of the series. So till next time, I'm Adam.